independent of Mosaic FA.
It's the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Good day for a drive over from Johnstown. Just like Nikki Deneen made today, didn't you? Did you come from Johnstown today?
I sure did.
Yeah. Nikki Deneen joins us today, our Indiana County Veterans Providers spot. And we talk with Nikki and the agency she represents, which is based in Johnstown, but represents folks here in Indiana County, too. Our conversation is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Law Firm and Best Personal Injury Lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. So the organization is called, let me get it straight here because I'll mess it up, Nikki, Veteran Community Initiatives. What is it?
Yes, sir. And first of all, Todd, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to represent Veteran Community Initiatives and be a part of the Veteran Providers Group here in Indiana County. So VCI for short is a nonprofit veteran service organization whose office is up at the Hiram G. Andrews Center. You're right in saying we do cover Indiana County. We actually cover 14 counties in total. So in short, we like to say wherever the Altoona VA Medical Center covers is where our coverage area is as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what sort of services do you offer?
We offer a range of advocacy and awareness services, education. We do veterans rural outreach. We have a Cambria County Veterans Treatment Court program. We also do some financial assistance and support, and also do a range of recognition ceremonies, especially for the Vietnam veteran eras and so forth. So we really try to make sure that our veterans in the area feel seen and heard and that we can help them in any way we can. So that's connecting them through agencies that the providers group connects us with.
That's a big umbrella.
It sure is.
I want to focus on one area that you mentioned, the rural outreach that you conduct. People think of veterans being centered around a more urban, a more populated area, but all of this area is basically rural. So you've got them scattered all over, and reaching veterans can sometimes be difficult.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you brought that up because that's exactly what we're aiming to do in that. So we know that in our area region, it's a very rural area. It's hard to centralize the veteran population, and we don't want to be so siloed in doing that. So the idea is that we hold these rural outreach programs at VFWs, American Legions, wherever community spaces will hold us, and we'll bring together veteran service agencies and representatives for benefits, for things like insurance, understanding claims, understanding how to seek services if there's disabilities or service connections that they need answers to.
Certainly the services available to vets are the same no matter where they live, based upon what their service is. But when you talk about somebody who is more rurally located, somebody who lives out in the country somewhere, are they always aware of all of the services that they have? Are they in touch enough with all of the different agencies that are there?
No, that's the whole reason behind why we go out and go to those spaces is because even though the federal benefits are all the same for veterans, what's available through different counties isn't always the same. It comes down to distance. It comes down to being able to access those resources, to be able to have enough people in the community who are educated and can speak to those benefits and services and help get people connected. So wherever we're able to go and bring those connections, we like to come from a grassroots perspective in that. So that's the VCIs, that's that's the parsonage, that helps with the homeless and things like that.
Yeah. Now, Indiana County has its own Veterans Affairs office, and they pick up a lot of those loose ends, if you want to call them that. But I assume that you pick up some of those for folks who aren't even aware that we have a Veterans Affairs office. In fact, not every county has a Veterans Affairs office.
Correct. But there are county veteran affairs directors around us. But what we can do is go across that red tape. So as you said, there's eligibility and enrollment requirements that keep some veterans from being recognized in the federal system that we don't have to necessarily worry about. So regardless, if the VA, Big Brother, recognizes that a veteran is a veteran due to service time or dates overseas, we recognize that veteran whether they've put in 1 day of service or 20 years.
Yeah. Now, recognition of veterans, that can mean a lot of different things. Right. It can be ceremonial, but it also, more importantly, even than ceremonial, is services available to them that they might not be aware of. You mentioned how important it is to reach out to Vietnam veterans. That is traditionally one of the more neglected, that might not be the correct word, but one of the more hard to reach segments of the Veteran Society, correct?
Correct, and rightly so. I mean, we all remember the welcoming that they received, or maybe lack thereof, whenever the Vietnam era veterans came home. So a lot of our mission is making sure that regardless, they know that they're appreciated and valued for their service, regardless.
With them, particularly, I'm thinking, because, we all know people who suffered from Agent Orange or from some other malady that is connected specifically to the Vietnam War. With them, is it typically medical that their ability to be served falls short?
So I don't like to use the term medical. More, it comes down to health related, and okay. Health is many things, right? So just because we cannot visibly see all of what might be going on with a person doesn't mean that it's not related in some way, shape, or form to health. Mm-hmm. So getting back to the branch of services, supports, and programs that we offer, represent, and advocate for is to make sure that that umbrella is covered, because everybody is different and everybody's needs are different when it comes to medical and health-related services.
Nikki Deneen is our guest. She is with the Veteran Community Initiatives based in Johnstown, but serving, you said 14 counties?
14 counties, that's right.
That's a wide net that you have to cast.
Sure is.
Yeah. So that being the case, I'm sure that you're in touch with agencies of all sorts.
Yes, we have to. We rely on our community partners and agencies to help get us through, because we know 14 counties, that is a very broad range, and it's a very rural part of the state. And county lines vary so much that we couldn't possibly do it without the help of our supporters and agencies.
How did the agency come to be? VCI?
So about 31 years ago, Mr. Tom Caulfield, who is a Vietnam-era veteran himself, he served in the Army. He came to Johnstown about 40 years ago and noticed that gap in knowledge and support services for Vietnam-era veterans. And it grew. He was a part of a different veteran service agency, but wanted to branch off and really connect with helping veterans get that step up. A small but mighty team, right? We know we can do a lot. And sometimes it's that background, what's happening in the background that helps get veterans through. Because we're also not, we're not commercialized in that sense. So in 30 years, it's grown and developed. It started from occupational support and job training, career counseling, resume writing, to now it's grown to offer more of that aging services education, mm-hmm. rural outreach, veterans court.
It's interesting that you put it that way, because, when I was growing up, the vets were of the World War I and World War II era, and as that generation very rapidly, unfortunately, passes on, the Korean War vets are becoming our most elderly of our veteran population. But Vietnam War veterans, they're getting up there in years as well. Their issues change as they get older. When it was founded 30 years ago, these guys were in their 30s and 40s.
Right. And that's the point, right, is this grassroots organization grows with the eras, and really making sure that we're helping to strengthen and maintain that independence too, because I know I wouldn't want anybody coming in and telling me what direction I want to take as I age or as I seek services. So at the core of that, we're offering that very broad range of education and equipping people with knowledge, resources, connections to help them take those next steps, however they want to proceed with their next steps.
So how do people interact with VCI? How do they initiate your services in their lives?
Yeah, so most often than not, it starts with a phone call. Our office line is 814-255-0355. That's the easiest way. Getting back to the rural outreach, sometimes it's just connecting through those VFWs, Legions, and other community spaces and meetings. I often go out into different community centers, senior centers, and give brief presentations to introduce people who might not be aware of our services and programs, getting out there through the court systems. Wherever people will invite us to, we go.
She is Nikki Deneen, so if somebody wants to hook up with your agency, they just need to call that number.
Absolutely. That's
Say it
the
again.
easiest way to do it. Our phone number is 814-255-0355.
Very good. All right. Final question for Nikki Deneen today. Hoss-Pike, Kramer Pike?
Hoss-Pike.
Hoss-Pike? Everybody has to answer that question if they're coming from Johnstown. Thanks, Nikki. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. There you go. Nikki must be adventurous. She's taken Hoss. Indiana in the morning. Coming up, Fox News just a couple of moments away from now, and then Josh Whittison in our WCCS newsroom. Next hour, we're talking with a legal expert from Fox, a number of different topics for him as well. Should be fun.
When you've been in an accident, you already have plenty to worry about.
At Marcus & Mack, we believe your focus should be on healing, not on legal battles. Hi, I'm attorney Robert Marcus.
And I'm attorney Brian Nitterheiser.
At Marcus & Mack, that's why we cover the case expenses.
So you can prioritize your recovery.
For decades, we fought for our clients' compensation,
ensuring that they receive what they need for medical bills and lost income.
Let us show the insurance companies we mean business.
Learn more at marcusandmac.com.
Hey, this is your house.